Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome back. It's Monday, and today we're going to learn some new keywords and sounds and the letters that go with those new keywords and sounds. I want you to say this word, octopus and olive. Say those words, octopus, olive. What do you hear at the beginning of the words octopus and olive? What do you hear there? Ah. You hear the ah sound. Look at my mouth, and then if you've got a mirror, look at your mouth and see what your mouth is doing and put your hand up there and feel what your mouth is doing when you say octopus, olive. What is your mouth doing? Yeah, you're right. It's open really big and round. Ah. And it's making the like the letter O, ah, ah. When you hear the ah sound, you spell it with letter O. And when you see letter O, you make the ah sound. The shape of that letter can help you even remember the sound that it makes because your mouth goes open like that. Ah. Put your hand on your throat. Ah. You can feel that your voice box working when you make the ah sound. Olive, octopus. That's letter O. And when you see it, you say ah, just like that. Okay, good job. The next one is a sound that we hear at the beginning of the word volcano. Say volcano. Volcano. Say vest. Vest. Put your hand on your throat. Volcano. Vest. What sound do you hear at the beginning of the word volcano or vest? That's right. You hear the sound. Your teeth are on your lip, on your bottom lip. Your tongue is kind of loose in the back of your mouth. And it's a voiced sound. Your voice box is turned on. That is the sound of the letter V. V makes the sound. So when you see V, you read it and when you hear the sound and it's voiced, you spell it with letter V. It's really similar to the sound like in fish, but this one is not voiced and this one is voiced. See the difference? Our voice box is turned on for volcano, but it's turned off for fish. But in both of those, our teeth are on our bottom lip, in both of them. One is voiced and one is not voiced. Okay, good job. All right, you ready for another one? Okay, this one is the sound that you hear at the beginning of the word zebra. Say zebra. What sound do you hear at the beginning of the word zebra? Yeah, you hear the z sound. Put your hand on your throat and see if your voice box is turned on or off. Zebra, zebra. It's on. You can feel your voice box working inside there. That's the z sound, and it is spelled with this letter Z. Letter Z spells Z. And when you see letter Z, you say Z. So if you're writing and you hear a Z sound and it's voiced, you spell it with letter Z. Or if you're reading and you see this letter Z, you say Z. Now that letter is very similar to the S sound. In both of them, our tongue is behind our teeth and we're pushing air out. Sun, zebra. They're very similar. Zebra is voiced, sun is unvoiced, and that's how you tell the difference. So when you hear a voiced z sound, that's zebra. Good. Okay, here's another one. You ready? Door, dog. What do you hear at the beginning of door and dog? That's right, you hear the d sound. It's a tongue tapper. Your tongue is behind your teeth. T, d. Put your hand on your throat. D. Kind of keep your teeth together when you make it, and that keeps you from saying duh, because it's not duh, it's d. What sound do you hear? What is your voice box turned on or off? D. It's turned on. Our voice box is turned on. So this is a voiced sound, a voiced tongue tapper. D. When you hear the d sound, it's spelled with letter D. And when you see letter D, you know to make the d sound. Now the sound that's real similar to that is the one that is at the beginning of turtle. Turtle, dog. One is voiced and one is unvoiced. But in both of those sounds, our tongue is behind our teeth. So sometimes we kind of mix them up. But to help us remember, d is voiced and t is not voiced. Good job. Okay, here's another one. Say jump and jack-o'-lantern. Jump, jack-o'-lantern. What do you hear at the beginning of jump and jack-o'-lantern? Yes, you hear the j sound. J. The j. Put your hand on your throat and see if that's a voiced or an unvoiced sound. J. It's voiced. It's not j. It's j. If you'll kind of keep your teeth together, it'll help you just make to isolate that sound. Just clip that sound off. J. That's right. So when you hear the j sound, like in jump, that is spelled with letter J. Letter J says j. So if you're writing and you hear j, you'll write the letter J. If you're reading and you see letter J, you will say j. Last one. Now we've had this sound before in cat, but our key word is kite. Say kite. 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 There's another letter besides C that makes the k sound. This letter is at the beginning of kite. And my name, Miss Kim. The other letter that says k is letter K. So when you see K, you read it k. And we'll learn some rules later about when to use a C and when to use a K. But sometimes when we hear the k at the beginning of a word, it will be spelled with letter K. It's just like the C, the k at the beginning of cat. Sometimes we spell that with a C and sometimes we spell that with a K. Both of those are unvoiced back kickers. One, sometimes it's spelled with K, sometimes it's spelled with C, and we'll learn about when to use that. Okay, there is a voiced one that goes with that, gate. So G is voiced, gate is voiced, kite and cat are unvoiced. Good job. So let's go through our keywords and sounds. You ready? Here we go. Kite, k. Cat, k. Turtle, t. Sun, s. Apple, a. Mouse, m. Fish, f. Pig, p. Bat, b. Itchy, I. Leaf, l. Nest, n. Rabbit, r. Whoops. Horse, h. Gate, g. Jump, j. Dog, d. Zebra, Z. Violin, V. Octopus, ah. Good job. Well, let's talk about that B and D because they're really tricky for some kids, for lots of us actually. So let's look at that and let's talk about how we can remember when it's a B and when it's a D. If you'll remember when we learned about B, we said we make the bat first and then the ball. The bat and then the ball. Now, to help us with D, we do it differently. Remember I said doorknob, doorknob, d. Well, to help us with D, we can make the doorknob first and then the door. That's one way we can help ourselves remember. Does the doorknob come first? If it does, that's the letter D. The bat comes first in the letter B. And those are ways we can help ourselves remember. We'll keep practicing. All right, let's look at this. You need to get out all your letters that look like this, and you need to put them in this order. So you'll put A, M, S, F, P, T, B, and under that you'll put I, L, N, R, C, G, H, and then on the bottom are new letters, O, V, Z, D, J, and K. If you need to pause this video right now to get your letters ready, do that and then come back and let's push and pull our letters. Welcome back. Okay, now that your letters are ready, we're going to put our finger on each letter. We're going to pull it down and say the name, push it up and say the sound. I want you to watch me do mine first. A, M, S, F, P, T, B, I, L, N, R, C, G, H, O, V, Z, D, J, cake. All right, get your finger on your letters and let's go across and let's pull them down and make them say the name and push them up and say the sound. Are you ready? Here we go. Let's do it together. A, M, S, F, P, T, B, I, L, N, R, C, G, H, O, V, Z, D, J, cake. Good job. All right, boys and girls, that's all we're going to do for today. Tomorrow we'll get together again and we will practice sounding out some words with our new letters. But remember this, when you're making a B, your bat comes first and then your ball. And then when you're making a D, the doorknob is first and then the door. You go have a great day. Remember to be safe. Bye-bye.